Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Side Ploud with Pop.1 Podcast. Here with episode 5, I got my boy Alexander Valito.
What's up?
And our special guest today, Butters. You know Butters, man. Everybody knows Butters. He's back in the office and we're going crazy today. We got a lot to talk about. One Piece set rotation, new Gundam anime remakes, and Pokemon making a park.
Yeah.
I think it's actually pretty cool, and we'll dive deep into that one. So shout out Butters. Let's get into it. Pop.1 Podcast.
Let's do it.
All right. Pop.1 Podcast. We're here for episode 5, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Halfway through 10 episodes already.
And every episode, we change the layout of our office.
We're just trying new things every single week. It's just gotta do what looks best.
Changing it out, trying to make everything look good. Every time we do a new episode, we kind of see what we like and what we don't like, and I get all technical with all the wiring and stuff in here and making sure everything's smooth. But lately we've been having guests come on. Yep. And last time we had our boy Brian Ha. Very successful episode. Good stuff on the TikTok. Just felt good. And today we have one of my long good old friends, Butters. You know, Butters is the co-host of the Twitch streams that we've been doing for 3 years now?
Yeah. It's been longer than that, huh?
3 or 4 years now. We've been around doing a lot of stuff. We've teamed up and done the biggest YuGiOh tournaments here on the Gulf Coast, and then we've done just all types of stuff with different branding and merchandise with Pop.1 Podcast and everything. He's been a big part of Pop.1 Podcast since it started, and we wanted to get him on this episode of the actual podcast.
Finally a part of that now.
Yeah. So Butters, man, we've been really getting into One Piece card game over here, and me and you have actually been getting into it IRL, been playing a lot of One Piece card game, and now Alex has ventured into that venture with us with the One Piece card game. There's other things that we've been also touching on too, and it's with the same people that make the One Piece card games, the Bandai. They've been touching the Gundam card game. Have you dabbled in that yet?
I have not yet. I've been watching some of y'all play, watching a few videos on YouTube. It's interesting. Alex got me some structure decks, so I'll be trying that out here very soon.
Yeah, you're like me. We've both gotten the structure decks and put the decks together, but we just haven't played it yet.
It's honestly so fun.
Yeah, you like it a lot, huh?
I love it.
I think this will do great because, one of the reasons I think One Piece does so well is, the anime and the manga, and everybody's a big fan of it.
Yeah.
So, and then even if you aren't a fan of it, if you start playing it, y'all become fans of it. I don't think you or Alex started watching it until y'all started playing.
Yeah, the One Piece, it was pretty much I think I was watching it a little bit before I started playing it, but the actual game is really was okay, I gotta see what the hype's all about.
Dived deep into it once you started playing, and you caught up very fast. 6 months maybe.
Yeah, I'm wanting to think. So
this is for One Piece, right?
Yeah. So I started. So what year we're in 2025?
Yep.
My New Year's resolution for 2024 was to finish the whole series, get caught up to the series. So it was November of 2023 was when I was sat down and really watched it. Now, throughout my whole life of anime and stuff, I watched the first season 100 different times, trying to get into it, but it just never latched onto me like that. And I don't know what it was this time. And then just so happens this card game comes out, and just so happens I really like it. So I'm now a One Piece super fan. Yeah. I'm doing fan theories online with people on
watching all these videos, what they think,
Yeah, well, it's kind of nostalgic because I was doing that a lot with Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that, you know. And Dragon Ball Super will always have a big part in my heart because that was when my wife was pregnant with Ruby. And as it was going on, I was super into it. Ruby was actually born, I'm wanting to say the weekend that the dub actually came to America, the first episode of the dubbed and everything. So Lucy was legit pregnant, from when it started to when it ended type deal. And it was just cool going back, doing fan theories and stuff like that, getting on the internet, seeing what people think the series is going to turn into. And I'm doing that now with One Piece. So it's a great thing. But getting back into it, man, the Gundam TCG is kind of blowing up faster than I thought it was going to.
Very fast. It's gotten kind of the One Piece treatment. When it first came out, people are buying the product out like crazy. You look online, set 1, the set that just came out, is not retailing, but going for on TCG Play for about $240, and the retail's supposed to be about $110. Shops are being praised for charging about $140 to $180 because that's a good price for this product. And yeah, it's crazy. I will say I bought 1 box of it. I pulled about $600 worth of cards.
Yeah, I saw that. You actually pulled. I keep saying Dawn because I don't know the game.
It's called the original Gundam, the OG Gundam. I pulled the gold OG Gundam resource card. I wish I would have brought it, but I dropped that thing off to GameStop so fast to get it graded.
Oh, cool.
If this game blows up as much as we think it is, that's going to be worth.
Well, you got to think if we look back at One Piece, when Brian was here, he brought his Searcher Nami, like the alt art from Op.1, and that's still a very, pricey card.
Yeah.
This is one of the secret gold whatevers from the first set, and we don't even know how much of this first set we're going to get.
Per like 2 to 3 cases.
Oh, really?
Ones. Yeah.
So you pulled a Starlight.
An old Starlight, yeah. No,
not the new.
Yeah, not the new ones. You also have like the silver kind of holographic resource. I pulled a couple of those.
Yeah.
So not as rare as the gold one, obviously, but yeah, that gold one was such a nice one. Actually, my box was insane. So you got like LR plus, and LR plus plus. I put an LR plus, and also put a ultra in art of one of the cards. I'm drawing a blank on what the name is, but it's like the 2 lovers of the show, or the fan theory. The
2 lovers.
Yeah, are they lovers or friends?
I don't know.
Which series though?
I don't know. I haven't watched Gundam yet because I'm still catching up on One Piece.
But like Brian was saying, last time, you got the original like MS Gundam, and that's like one set universe, and then like things like Gundam Wing and Destiny are like alternate universes. I mean, in G Gundam, there's just so many.
There's a whole Gundam.
You sitting there going, the 2 lovers from the show, and I'm like,
which show? Which lovers?
Speaking of Gundam Wing, they're actually so San Diego Comic-Con's going on this weekend.
Yes,
and we're getting a lot of news. Me and Butters know this weekend every year very well, and it's always been a little dream of ours too to go check one of those out. But they're doing a lot of news, and we got a lot of Gundam news. So for all you Gundam fans out there, Gundam Wing is getting a special edition 4K movie in theaters, so like a remaster. And they're actually, if you want to rewatch the series, they're putting the whole Gundam Wing series on YouTube, on the Gundam YouTube channel, so you can go and check that out. And they're also doing a new manga, and it's going to be coming out in August, and you can go check out Chapter 1 right now at the Gundam 30th anniversary. Yeah, that's what it is, or Gundam Wing 30th. So it's actually Gundam Wing's 30th anniversary. So they're doing a bunch of stuff for Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
So it kind of brings me back to last week's episode where we were like, oh, all of a sudden, us knowing that this Gundam fandom is just this huge, huge thing. It's like the card game's coming out of nowhere. New anime is coming out of nowhere. New manga coming out. Are we like in the process of seeing Gundam like just make a huge burst back into the scene? And like we were saying, like, will the card game bring new people into all this new stuff that they're dropping? And is the card game really just like a promotional thing to try to boost up the views on these new movies and mangas and stuff like that?
It's definitely possible. So 2025 is such an interesting year, right? We had the boom with the anime boom where a bunch of people started watching anime in the early 2020s. And then we had the TCG boom, which is still going on to this day. A bunch of sets are very popular. Today we just had a Pokemon drop at a local Sam's, and it sold out in an hour.
Yeah.
It was insane. We're talking like 5 pallets full, and it was a bunch of different people. It wasn't just one person.
Mm-hmm.
It is the perfect time to do something like this with a new card game like Gundam. It is interesting to me that they chose Gundam to be the one to do it, but again, I didn't realize how big of a game Gundam was. You also got the figures. There are shops in Texas that are dedicated just to Gundam, right? So them picking Gundam to do this, introducing the fandom to everyone, because it is such a family-friendly game and show, I guess you could say, because like fathers and
family friendly.
I wouldn't say family friendly.
Okay, I mean, like
some of the older school stuff is like extremely violent. You got to remember, like 80s anime was just
right. I mean, it's not
insane.
Evangelion.
No, it's not. It's not like that. But it's not. I wouldn't say family friendly. Maybe some of the new some of the. I don't want to say like new. Like Gundam Wing was okay, like for a family show. But then like what was the one? I can't remember what it's called, but it's got Gundam Barbados. That one's very violent.
Yeah, and I meant so more like the hobby side of things, right?
Yeah.
So you
Like
could build
the Gunpla, the card game.
The card game is very friendly. Kids can definitely learn it. I know we learned it in about 30 minutes. We were able to play the game at a relatively competent level. The figurines you could build with the kids. You know, all these different things. There's a whole bunch of avenues with the Gundam verse that you could do, that you can introduce a bunch of, you know, adults and children into. That I think it's actually brilliant the more I think about it.
Yeah.
That this is what they chose to make the next TCG.
Okay.
I think it does have a very big like following. Like, I mean, you got to think like you can find Gundam kits at Hobby Lobby, you know, pretty much any hobby store, but you can find them.
Do they?
Know, yeah.
Hobby Lobby?
Oh yeah.
Hobby Lobby.
I gotta go check that out.
Yeah, they have them. I mean, they're not going to have like, you know, the $500 kit,
Right.
but they'll have the, you know, beginner level.
They got some good ones.
They got some. They do got some like higher level ones, and you know they do come in different grades.
Was it like perfect grade is like the craziest one, or like
there's high grade, master grade, perfect grade, and I think there's one more.
Yeah, I saw some commercials where it was showing what's your dedication to it, and it was 1 hour.
You talking about like them old 90s commercials? Like, yeah, those were cool. And like they were playing like some like heavy rock like in the background. And like it was like very like grungy type of commercial, like, what's your build? Like, you know, it's actually really funny when you go and look at stuff like that.
It's cringe, but man, I gotta be honest with you.
Back in the day, that show was badass, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah. If they brought that back, dude, I would go to man, I wish Toys R Us was still around. I'd go to a Toys R Us.
Toys R Us would be nice right now.
Toys R Us would be really nice right now. Could you imagine Toys R Us right now with all these different trading card games and the popularity?
It would probably be like GameStop now and turn into like a card store.
Exactly.
Speaking of GameStop, I was there this morning at 7 a.m., which is cool. So me, Little Nate, and D Loud, Little Nate being our Discord mod, he runs the server and everything, and my boy D Loud, Derek, he's just been, you know, I don't know. We've just been collecting cards for years and years now, and he's actually helped me like get a lot of product back when me and Butters were opening a lot on stream and stuff. And so he was like, you know, GameStop's doing a drop tomorrow. It's the new White Flare ETBs or whatever. I'm like, cool, I'll show up. You know, got up at 6:30, showed up there around 7. He was there too. There was about 14 people ahead of us.
Yeah.
So we hung out there till about 10 o'clock. So it was about a 3-hour hangout. Shout out D Loud for bringing me the chair, dude. He brought me a bottle of water and a chair, dude. And I was like, oh, we're good, dude. This is awesome. Yeah, we're just hanging out, and then we look, and the line has accumulated around the building. There was like over 120 people that showed up.
For the Pokemon drop?
Yeah, for the new Pokemon drop. Everybody was really cool, and the workers there have done this before over in, shout out D'Iberville GameStop. They have literally just made sure that it goes as smooth as possible. And 10 people in the store at one time, and then they already had all the items pre-bagged. They're like, you want one of everything? It was 3 items today. It was the ETB, the poster collection, and the binder collection, and they already had them like pre-bagged, and they were just like, if you want everything, we got them pre-bagged, you know, it's 100 and whatever, here you go. Smoothest process ever. Really good shout out to them. But I had another venture afterwards. I decided, since I was a little free today, the wife had the kids all settled and stuff, I was going to go look for more Pokemon. And as soon as I left GameStop, somebody in our Discord was like, Sam's Club has gotten their restock of Prismatic Evolutions. So I didn't feel like driving 25 minutes down to Sam's at the time. So I let my friend, we all know him, Brian Ty, know that Sam's has it if you want to go get some. Well, he got a few of them, and he actually picked me and Alex up one. And I was like, you know, I might as well go get some too. You know, me and Lucy and the kids can sit back and rip some Prismatic tonight. So I go there, and he's like, yeah, there's a lot left. There's like a whole pallet left. I'm talking about within 20 minutes, completely wiped out. Yep. And as I'm walking out the door of Sam's, there's like 5 or 6 dudes with 2 buggies just completely full of all the Prismatic bundles.
It's
And
actually a pallet and a half.
Yeah, a pallet and a half completely gone. And you know, I kind of was like, hey, y'all beat me to it. And they're just like, yeah, sorry, bro. And I'm like, thanks, guys. Shout out to GameStop for making sure that, you know, there's obviously like scalpers and stuff in the line or whatever,
100%.
but you know, it was just a casual thing. Everybody gets the same thing type of deal. But yeah, you know, having a scalper experience before the podcast was kind of crazy. But Butters don't even do Pokemon no more, man. You don't do nothing but One Piece now. Well, now you're gonna go into Gundam.
Getting into Gundam, yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm sure my wife is
into.
very appreciative of it.
Yeah. So,
But I think you know, with like the Gundam thing is like, because there's so many different Gundams and everybody has their favorite series. You know, like my first introduction was Wing, and I kind of delved into it a little deep. Started watching some other series, but you know, that Wing will always, and I think Wing is like a lot of.
I think so too. I was watching some clips the other day because like I've completely heavy erased that show out of my mind. But like watching clips of Gundam Wing, I was like, oh, I was watching this. I remember watching this because I think it was actually the spot right before DBZ. It was either right before DBZ or like right after. And that it might have been Sailor Moon, DBZ, and then like 2 episodes of Gundam Wing. Like there was a point where they were like showing too much Gundam, and I think they were trying to like progress the series. So like whenever the next like I don't know block in Toonami happened, like they didn't have to keep doing the Gundam stuff. Because to me, it was like always like it's like Robot Chicken on Adult Swim. Like whenever that comes on, that's about the time you go ahead and cut the TV off and go to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that with Toonami when Gundam came on for me, you know. But I do remember like picking up a few episodes, like the dude with like the swoosh hair, like the like I think like yeah, and then the hairstyles were kind of crazy, but not as crazy as the Gundam designs. I do remember that they were all pretty dope, and the red one was always like really cool to me. White and red color scheme.
Oh, Heavy Arms. With the Gatling gun.
Was that the one with like his chest open? Yeah, and like yeah.
Yeah, it's like
cool stuff.
I mean, that's my niche is the giant mecha and giant monster stuff. So I remember, you know, running home from school, popping that TV on, and you know, gotta watch Dragon Ball, and then I was like, what is this giant mechas? Like, what the heck in space? And they just, you know, they got the laser swords and stuff, and I fell in love instantly.
Well, at San Diego Comic-Con, they've already announced 2 more structure decks. And, yeah, 2 structure decks. And I'm wanting to say they teased something about another set or something like that. But one of the structure decks is themed solely around, what is it, G-Quux? G-Cukes? The newest Gundam. So a lot of people are hyped about that, and the art for that set is really, really cool. So I think a lot of fans are going to be really into that. Supposedly the deck looks like kind of broken or whatever. So I don't know personally because I haven't played the game yet to know what's broken or anything. But dude, like I said last time, the art is just they're just stepping it up, bro. Like out of nowhere,
yeah, it's gorgeous.
All the art, especially for the structure decks, are just like killing it right now. And I think that's going to be a main factor in this game. I will say this morning with a lot of the, I don't know if they were scalpers or anything, blah, 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 but a lot of people did bring up Gundam card game, and they were saying that they are heavily looking for this card game right now. We'll see how it goes. I have been in a few Facebook groups so far, and different forums and Discords for Gundam card game. It's very hard to get it.
Yep.
Like you said, the market for it is insane.
Mm-hmm.
200 plus a booster box. Shout out to a lot of people on Facebook sharing their different LGS prices and stuff to see kind of where the market lies on a local level. You see some where people are just like $100, you know, for a booster box, $100 to $110. But you do see that $250. And I've seen a lot of shops just go ahead and throw that $300 on the shelf.
Yeah, that just becomes dangerous territory because when a product on release and stays consistently just that expensive, that just pushes your players out of the game, and then they never can really get into it. That's does. Dangerous territory, and I hope Bandai is prepared for this, and they, you know, because imagine if One Piece stayed like that when it first started.
Well, I was just going to bring that up. One Piece didn't pop off like that when it came out. And me and Butters were actually like super heavy on the Twitch and stuff, and we were talking about the card game as it was releasing. OP.1 was hard to find at first, like kind of now, right when it came out. But after a while, it was kind of sitting on the shelves because we go back to the anime stills for the cards and stuff like that. And just the kind of subpar, basic artwork that they were putting on it, unless you got like an alternate art or something like that. I don't see that really happening with Gundam right now. Just because you're not finding these in retail locations, and I don't know if
make it harder.
I don't know if they've dropped these in Walmarts and stuff yet.
Yeah.
From what I know, it's all like local game stores and stuff. But yeah, that makes it very hard. And the fact that the cards are beautiful. I mean, the average person that collects cards, even if they just collect sports cards or anything like that, they could look at these cards and say, this is something that's going to do something. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up and put it in a box somewhere. And, it goes back to the conversation on players and collectors, how they're both needed entities in a card game. I think the collectors are kind of overthrowing the players right now, and it's going to hurt the game. And the longevity of the game can definitely be damaged by that. But what can you do? You can just tell Bandai to keep printing more. But then when it goes to that point, then it completely takes the collector base away from it. And then at that point, it's just a playing game.
They just got to find the, happy medium.
And when I say collector base, it does include the scalpers and stuff like that. They are a part of that. And which isn't a bad thing. The scalpers are a bad thing, but being a collector is not a bad thing. Like, you can collect cards,
Like, we should have enough product to where someone wants to buy 2 to 3 cases that isn't scalper level. And we're just not at that
crazy.
point. Right, but
cases.
Like if someone in YuGiOh bought 3 cases, they're not.
Oh, get them out of here! Yeah. Go ahead.
we need enough product to where that's okay.
I think any LGS, if they said, "Hey, if anybody walked in and said, "Hey, can I get 3 cases of that YuGiOh set?" They'd be like, "Dude, it's buy 2 get 1 free." Actually, nah, it's cool, and Gundam's cool, man. I'm gonna start getting back into it. I'm just really like trying to stay focused on One Piece until Bandai Fest. For some reason, I kind of want to, get an invite to nationals and play in it.
Yeah.
But I won't really know until August, the ban list. And speaking of One Piece, they've given us a bunch of new announcements for our block list.
Yes.
So basically, all the cards in PRB02 will have a block change.
Yes.
So if it's an OP01 card like Nojiko, Kaya, or not OP01, but in that
Block
sector.
1.
Yeah, Block 1, Kaya, what was another one? Bonnie, the Searcher, Bonnie, just all types of different cards that were going to be rotated out. If they are in PRB2, they're now Block 4 cards. So they won't be rotated out for a long time, actually, specifically 2029.
Yeah, 3 more years.
So they've already given us that number 2029. Do you guys think that we're going all the way to 2029 with this game?
Yeah.
You really think so?
There's a strong... There hasn't been a game in Bandai's history this popular.
Now, I will say, with all the stuff with One Piece, you know what I mean? Like, with the manga and the anime going on, they will have a lot of content coming up. They will have a lot of stuff to work on. I mean, I don't know how caught up you are with One Piece right now, but it is crazy, dude.
I also think it's going to depend on when it ends. If it ends in 2027, do you think they can go 4 or 5 more years?
I don't think it'll end in 2027.
I'm just saying, like,
you
got to figure once the anime and manga ends, like, how much more new content can you put in the card game when your source material is run out?
So we've been in LBAF and I'm not trying to spoil anything, so I'm just trying to think. So LBAF and like this part has already been told, like, this is the end of One Piece, like where we are. And dude, we've already been in LBAF since the beginning of this year, I'm wanting to say. And like, it doesn't seem like it's anywhere close to being over. And there's so much to answer. I do feel like at least 2 to 3 more years of content from One Piece.
But you could also look at this too, like, once pretty much everybody's agreeing that Luffy is going to find the One Piece and become king of the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly that's where this anime will end. What's to stop it from continuing on after that? Like, once he's king
if we want to get into a little like speculation, there's so much speculation going on. I mean, and honestly, I wish we could go deep into it. I wish you guys are like super caught up with it and we could get deep into it, but we can't. But maybe another day. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about YuGiOh's attempt to put more shoes out.
And some other news.
Oh, Lord.
All right, guys. We'll be right back. Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're going to interrupt this episode and tell you about our sponsors. Yes, our sponsors over at Dueling Guard. These guys definitely have everything you need for your TCG journey. Go ahead and head on down to duelingguard.com. Check out their deck boxes, their playmats, their binders, their anime art cards. They have it all, and I swear I love this stuff. I back it all the way. I personally use binders and deck boxes from Dueling Guards for all of my TCG play. When I'm going to bigger tournaments, or even if I'm going to smaller tournaments, they have everything I need to be comfortable in my competitive scene. I love the size of their deck boxes. They fit perfectly in my book bag without any type of clutter. You know what I mean? When you have them big deck boxes and it's just so cluttery in your book bag, it makes your book bag kind of get deformed after a little while. These are great for that because they're a nice slim fit. They also have so many different sizes of deck boxes. So if you don't like the size of one of their deck boxes, I'm sure they'll have something to fit your certain criteria whenever you're going to these big events. Their playmats are super high quality. I really enjoy playing on them, and their binders are peak. They're side loading, they zip up, they're just really good binders all in all, and they fit perfectly in your book bag. They also have different accessories like playmat holders and different bags that you can take out. I'm telling you now, you guys are definitely going to want to support Dueling Guard, man. They are very awesome in what they do. So go to duelingguard.com, use code POP1 at checkout. You guys get a discount. It helps us out a lot. We really enjoy having Dueling Guard around, and we thank them so much for what they do for the community and for Pop.1 podcast. All right, let's get back to the show.
So welcome back. So YuGiOh has decided to do a collaboration with a Nike. Again, no, because last time was what, Adidas, and this time is Nike. What they're doing are the actual Joey shoes from the original anime.
Yes.
And what are they, the 94s?
So these are the Air Max 95s.
95s.
These are my favorite Air Max. I actually wear these.
I own a pair as well.
I love these shoes. When we were younger, they were called like the Dope Runners. That was just like the name of them. They were just really cool shoes, especially like just in street culture and stuff like that. And it wasn't until like way down the line after I've been wearing them was I was like watching an episode of YuGiOh, like older, you know what I mean, like in my 20s, and I was like, but he's got the 95s on, like what is this? And then I found out that the creator of YuGiOh is actually like a big fan of them, and that's why all of the characters in YuGiOh wear the Air Max 95s.
It's so funny.
And they are actually doing Air Max 95s, and there's cards that will come with these, just like the what was the other shoe?
It was the Adidas, and it had the special Dark Magician.
So they were like Dark Magician things.
It was Yugimoto shoes. So this time is Joey shoes. Before it was Yugimoto shoes.
Yeah, that's right. Joey was the one wearing the 95s. Yeah, so the 95s are coming out. I wore those a lot. They got two cool cards. We've only seen the two that were leaked in San Diego Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. And there's a spell card and a trap card. The trap card is kind of like a nostalgic thing to the manga. It has the knife like going through the shoe. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember in the manga, there's like a big scene where the anime and the manga are completely different things. And it was very dark. And what Yugi was, he would be possessed by the Millennium Puzzle to gamble. Yeah. So the whole thing wasn't about Duel Monsters. Duel Monsters came out, it was just one of his games, one of his Dark Shadow games.
That was the 4Kids, censor and everything. But you didn't get those in America.
The card is resembling where they would take stacks of money and put them on the back of their hands. And what you had to do, it's whoever would go deeper with the knife, and that's who would win the money, however deep you went with the knife. Well, when Yugi was possessed, he would just stab all the way through his hand. So he would get all the money. And that's kind of what it's referencing. And the spell card, I believe, is referencing the hand thing where Taya like drew the symbol on their hand or whatever. So it's really cool cards. We haven't seen the shoes yet, but I know they're going to be dope. You got some 95s, you know what I mean? You got YuGiOh. Where can you go wrong?
I'm a huge fan of anything Air Max.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be all. What about you, Butters? You going to be wearing these 95s?
Man, I'm not a shoe guy. I got a pair of Skechers on right now.
I think that's just you and me that really like shoe collectors.
No, I think it's cool whenever they do bring stuff like outside of like the average consumer of these things. Like, you know what I mean? Because anime does have a spot now in streetwear and pop culture and like
Yes.
everything. There's more and more people that are getting into these types of things.
Because YuGiOh also did a Gymshark, I think it was Gymshark collab.
Dude, YuGiOh's been doing every skateboards.
Yeah.
Just all type. They've collabed with Hypeland and do pretty cool like T-shirts and stuff. I have a few of them. They just are really getting into it, and I think that's a really good move on the brand's part, because besides the card game, Yu-Gi-Oh's IP is pretty cool. You know, you got the anime, you got the video games, you got all types of stuff that come with Yu-Gi-Oh. Even though the card game can be a little toxic and it's kind of a different group of people that get into it. The stuff that they drop is really cool. And another thing that they've done is, so we go to and we look at these characters. Whenever you think of Yu-Gi-Oh, you think Yugimoto, you think the hairstyle, you think of Joey Wheeler, you think of all that. And we've noticed that they've used these characters nonstop for pretty much all their promotion. I mean, we're getting a reprint of the Kaiba box that came out in like 2021 or whatever. And they're really reprinting it just because Kaiba's on the front of it. So that person back when they were a child or back in whatever, they'll see Kaiba and say, oh, this is really cool. I want to get this. Oh, I get to get all these cards that Kaiba had in his deck and everything like that. So it's a nostalgia thing. You were telling me something about some shareholders or...
So there's one video specifically on the YouTubes where it's his channel name is YuGiOh Everything. And he made a video where there was not a leaked document, but a document that you can only get that if you are a investor in this bank and you invest. I think the minimum was $100,000. And the memo is essentially, why should you invest in Konami? And there was two big reasons that they brought up, right? One was the baseball IP that Konami has right now. And, you know, that's a huge thing going on right now, all the different series and everything. And the second reason, it just said Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot. Now, that it was a generic, vague statement, right? So do they mean the anime reboot? Do they mean a card game reboot? Do they mean, you know, a video game reboot? Master Duel's doing phenomenal. I doubt that's going to be the case, but it just said Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot. Could just be a new anime series.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know, man. And I think I've said this to you a few times. I think that's the route that they need to go. If you look at Yu-Gi-Oh, how it started, okay, you got an anime.
Yeah.
Every anime has a special power or weapon, you know what I mean? The Dragon Ball, you got the Dragon Balls. One Piece, you got the Devil Fruits. With Yu-Gi-Oh, you had the cards. Yep. And the cards were essentially the weapons for the main character and blah, blah, blah. The thing about that was you could actually get those quote-unquote weapons in real life. Harmless, you know, cards or whatever, but you could essentially do the same things in the anime in real life and create that same world. So I think that's why it blew up so much. But the lack of anime, especially here in America, and new stuff to watch has been very slim for many years now.
Yes.
And it kind of puts that fuzzy line with the cards. I don't have a relationship with any of these characters that are coming out of these new sets. I'm basically using my imagination because they usually don't give you lore or anything like that when they give you these characters. What's up with Malice? What's up with Rizul? What are these characters and what do they do outside of their effects on these cards? What makes them a character, essentially? And it's been lacking that for a while. So if we were to get some sort of reboot, I would hope that it's not a complete reboot of like the Duel Monsters and Battle City era. I would hope that it's kind of something new that can implement a lot of these cards. I like what they did with the little short stuff, like the Sky Striker stuff and kind of giving us lore and of like live twins and all that stuff and everything.
I like that too.
I would rather, watch a series of some new duelists and kind of playing like people play nowadays. Like make it difficult, you know what I mean? Show how difficult it can be, but make it exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like do something really exciting.
Like the
with
world's
the show.
gonna end unless you win this duel. Can you make the perfect board?
Yeah.
Can you break this unbreakable board?
But like show the problems with hand traps. Show the problems with floodgates on the show, and show some frustration with the characters. Like, oh man, he ash blossomed me. Like, you know what I mean? That'd be crazy in the anime.
He dropped Mocharmy on me. I can't play.
Because when people look at the anime of Yu-Gi-Oh, they think of the classic GOAT format, basically. Or, you know, they'll go and they'll watch GX and they're watching like Heroes and stuff. And
at most, you go to 5Ds and watch some synchros.
Maybe a little bit of synchro here and there, but other than that, nah. But other Yu-Gi-Oh news, Hulu is finally airing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush English dub.
They made a dub of it?
Yes, and after 3 years since Japan's release. Now, I say this because what if we are finally about to get Rush Duel in America?
What if that's the reboot they're talking about?
I'm going to touch on something Preston said earlier about the manga and the anime being completely different. What if the reboot's that? What if it's another anime
That's
adaptation,
a great
more
thought.
close, more, you know, following the actual manga? Instead of just being the duel monsters, you got all these other games that with the Pharaoh.
Yeah, the shadow games, yeah. That would be something too.
Because 4Kids doesn't have the rights to these shows anymore. It's obvious that these games are not made for children. It's made for middle-aged
Well, the
men.
marketing as well has been marketed to us, the original consumers. So what? Yeah, like why wouldn't they make an anime more tailored to us? Something that we would want to sit down and watch. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of the animes and stuff as of recent with Yu-Gi-Oh, the ones in Japan are kind of childish, you know what I mean? Like they're not something that I would it's like me sitting down and watching like an episode of Sonic or something, you know what I mean? I like the character Sonic, but I don't really care about the animes or like the cartoons and stuff, you know? It's just kind of, or me watching Beyblade or something like that, you know what I mean?
You look at like some of the top animes recently, like Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, you know, stuff like that. These are way more adult than you know, and these are like the big hit anime. So, you know, people love the darker, more violent, gruesome stuff. So
people love a good story.
That too. But it's just like, if you do reboot the anime and you actually make it more close to the manga and make it more dark and violent, you know, that could, with today's audience of who watches anime now, that could go very big.
That helped the card game explode.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. But I am excited to see where they go with Go Rush, which is the show, and see if potentially we can get Rush Duel here. And, you know, we might see an English full art Yu-Gi-Oh card finally, huh?
Would that be legal in the TCG? Doubt it.
No, not at all. Because the Rush Duel card effects are busted, dude. I don't know if you've read any of them, but they are absolutely cracked. And it's just something that, you know, I don't know where they're going to go with it. It's Yu-Gi-Oh, man. We don't know anything that Konami will do next.
They don't communicate anything. That's my biggest frustration with them, is that they just don't communicate. The biggest reason why they posted that the ban list will come after Worlds is to avoid the meme of the horse vomiting in the gas station, 100%, because the community has decided that it would be hilarious to troll this company. The
emojis are still banned on their stream because like I wasn't having like an argument, but I was like, yeah, we're supposed to get the ban list leaked today, like during nationals in the Twitch stream, and you know everybody's like, it doesn't mean we're getting a list every nationals, you know, trying to argue with me and stuff. I'm just like, I know that, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying like it's heavily rumored right now, you know, and they were like, well, how would we know, and why would Konami do that to us? And then I was like I was gonna say because of this, and I was gonna put like the throw up face and like the horse emoji, and they still have it banned. Like you cannot put that anywhere close. So what people are doing are making Twitch accounts and making the emoji like a Twitch emoji of the horse, or they're going and following people or subscribing to channels that have that emoji so they can ultimately use it in the Konami streams. You know what? We should put one on our Twitch just so we can get the subs. Like they're just subscribing for the throw up horse emoji.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
But funny. Dude, it's the funniest it's like the funniest meme ever, bro. I don't even know how that specific one became the meme, but it was like for what, a week? Every Facebook group, every Discord.
It's still happening. I went on some discussion, and they've like altered to like be different cards, but it's all the same thing. They're just vomiting.
Yeah, I saw one say it was like a Dark World guy. One of the
it was
Dark
a Monarch, yeah.
Yeah, Monarch throwing up in the gas station. What is it, like a horse standing in a gas station, like projectile vomiting?
It was one of the few times I was proud to be a Yu-Gi-Oh!
The funniest
player.
one was the Barone, where it was like Barone sitting on the horse. Oh my god, dude, that's funny, man. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is gonna be Yu-Gi-Oh forever.
Yes,
and
it will.
we are coming up on
30 years.
We're coming up on Pokemon's 30th year. That's next year. And I had to remind a lot of people online because everybody's like, oh, Pokemon's going to dip soon. Pokemon's going to dip. I said,
no, it's not.
Do y'all remember that the 25th anniversary was like almost 5 years ago? And you don't think they're going to go hard for their 30th?
Dude,
Wasn't
Pokemon.
Didn't it come out in 97?
It's something like
It's
96 or 97. But remember Celebrations. That came out.
I'm saying the original, like in
Yeah,
America. I remember
99 was like when it got really hype in America. 99, 98.
I'm trying to remember when I first started playing. I remember playing Blue.
Can we
Had
just
my Game Boy Color, and I was in 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
can we just appreciate how Pokemon does their product though? Just the way they design their boxes.
They're beautiful.
I genuinely think that's part of why Pokemon gets scalped so much.
Dude, it's a lot of stuff, but it's mainly the money. It's mainly because the cards are worth money. A lot of
because the
these
cards
people
worth
don't
money.
can't even name Pokemon, you know what I mean? And you know, I kind of thought the scalping thing was kind of like a silly thing to a lot of people, and like I didn't really pay attention to it. But like, dude, it's gotten so bad that even a person like me that has all these connections and all of these, you know, different phone numbers and stuff, I used to like not even have to hunt for product. It would just be like, hey, I got this, you know. And shout out to Nerd's Nest. I was actually able to get some of the new set whenever they dropped, just because like I knew a shop owner, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the as of lately, a lot of the shops that I know haven't gotten any. Walmart and Targets, you're still having the fights and stuff every day.
Which
you
is
see them on TikTok.
crazy.
Yeah, and then you know you're sitting in this line, and there was legit 100 plus people this morning that lined up outside of a GameStop.
Could you imagine if GameStop decided to do a midnight release for Pokemon?
Dude, I wish they
product?
would. That would be so dope, man.
I think it's just more prevalent in Pokemon. I mean, everybody in every card game, I think they're scalpers, but I see more like YouTube shorts and TikToks about, you know, people going to Target and clearing them out, and you know, I don't really see. I know it happens in One Piece. I know it's happening with Gundam. I don't really know if it's happening with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I know Magic.
But Magic with the Final Fantasy. Oh my
yeah,
god.
that was a game
Majority
being
of the
scalped,
time,
too.
if you go into a Target like in the afternoon, it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, and Magic. And I want to go back to episode 1 where you were trying to tell me that Lorcana, it is not, dude. That is
I was wrong. I
Yeah.
apologize. But can I throw Gundam in there? now?
for
top 5.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. As of today, yeah, Gundam might be like top 2
With
right
the exception of this newest set that's coming out, this is my biggest frustration with Yu-Gi-Oh is that they do a lot of yo-yoing with their products. And there was a really good point made that Yu-Gi-Oh has a problem of overload in some sets. This next set coming out, Justice Hunter, is going to be a Meta Warp and insane set. Good luck in your hand on this product. If you're looking to invest as a scalper, this is the set to do it. Like every box you buy will be value.
This is not financial advice.
This is not
Follow
financial
Pop.1
advice.
for scalping advice.
And to tell you the truth, if it was me personally, I wouldn't touch it. But go ahead.
With that being said, though, they never have this, right? They have too many times where their product just doesn't have a lot of value in it, and this is the first time that the product has value in it. But it is so funny to me that this set, Konami just made an announcement for Canada and US that many of its distributors were delayed with this product.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Power of the Elements.
Oh, really?
I think not to mention that the set has 3 archetypes that are like pretty good.
Yes. 3. It's going to instantly be
Power
the
of
3
the
best
Elements.
decks.
We had Sprite, Tier, and there was something in it. Exo Sisters.
Yeah, but it was mainly Sprite and Tier, though.
Yeah. This one, and I'm wanting to say we might have had a delay. I think Europe had a delay on Power of the
Europe
Elements.
had a delay.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy that this is happening again.
The best set. Why is it happening with the best set? Like, why couldn't this happen with the previous set that was terrible?
It's just something, man. I will not open another Yu-Gi-Oh pack probably forever. And
I wouldn't go that far.
Unless they announce like a bunch of Madolche support.
All right. You got me there. Yeah.
I need a case.
I will always have love in my heart for Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh will always be, as far as I'm concerned, the best gameplay, the best mental strategy thinking around. And, you know, I do want to go back into it one day. But what's this set, Justice Hunter specifically, is doing is just, I don't like turn zero gameplay. I don't like that if you're going second, not only can you like end your opponent's turn with hand traps, but now you can also full combo on your opponent's turn. That's insane to me.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy.
It's just
welcome to the game, baby.
Oh, is this flu all over again?
No, this is tier all over again. But like every deck is tier.
That was real fun.
But you remember, like during tier format, everybody was complaining, and I was the one guy saying, "All right, this is gonna go away, and you guys are gonna be mad. You guys aren't gonna be happy." It went away, and the game ain't been the same since.
Yeah, but a lot of people left the game after that.
A lot of people loved the game during that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A lot of people loved it.
There was a lot of love of Yu-Gi-Oh during that. And then when Tier got banned and all the Kashtira stuff came out and all that stuff, like, dude, people were just like, okay.
You went from a heavy skillful format to a lucky format.
I was playing with Dolce, dude, and Dolce had a great matchup into Tier, dude. I was loving every minute of it. It was really nice. And it was actually a format where my deck was actually kind of decent in. And so I was like, I was actually topping some locals and stuff at that time. And then, let's see, we went to Vegas, I'm wanting to say. Yeah, we went to Vegas, the Photon Hypernova around that time. That was whenever that came out. It was after Duelist Nexus, and then I wanted to say Photon Hypernova. And, Kashtira changed the game so much that I was like, I'm good. I played for a while, though. I played about a year after that still, and changed my life for the One Piece.
For the One Piece.
I love One Piece.
It's a great game.
You've been watching the anime, Butters?
Yeah.
Yeah, you caught up on the anime?
I think I'm one episode behind right now, but I get these aggravated moments where they draw out the same thing over 5 episodes. You know, it's the whole... I compare it to the Dragon Ball when they got to power up for 2 episodes to fight for a minute. You know, it's like they do that stuff. My biggest one was during Kaido when Luffy like infiltrates the Animal Kingdom pirates, and they dump the red bean soup, and he just keeps thinking back to the little girl and how she's always hungry, and he's like, why would you waste that? And then like 2 minutes later it's back to that, why would you waste that? Next episode, why would you waste that? And I was like, bro, how many times are we gonna go through this?
I will say I was struggling through Skypiea, and then you showed me the hour-and-a-half version of Skypiea.
Yeah, the little episodes,
brother. So like online, you'll see people argue between whether you can skip Skypiea or not. I'm like, I'm not about to skip any.
Which you can't, because a lot of it has.
But doing that saved me, I want to say like 70 episodes.
Well, they're not even going like back to older. They're actually like implementing stuff from the movies and stuff now, like into the story. So it's like getting that deep to where it's like, no, you need to be consuming like everything.
What was it? Uta?
Uta is canon.
Cause usually with anime movies, they're
not canon.
They take place in the timeline. Like, whenever the movie comes out, like wherever the anime is, it's like the same. The same level, same moves, and stuff like that. But then, they have no effect on the main storyline. Yeah, Dragon Ball was
a lot of them. Yeah,
did that a lot. But then, with Super coming out, everything has become canon with the multi.
Well, more with like Xenoverse, but yeah.
So, you see Uta in the movie, and they. I mean, I don't really want to say it, but I guess everybody kind of knows
how they tease Gear 5.
Yeah, they show Gear 5 for just like a half a second on screen when he does the final blow. You see it, like I caught it because I watched that movie recently, so I've already known about Gear 5. So as I'm watching it, I was like, hold up, let me go back a little bit. And I paused it, and I was like, dude, that's Gear 5 Luffy. This movie came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I was like, they tease that. But now, Shank's daughter, Uta, is canon. Oda teases that stuff all the time. I keep seeing things about like on chapter 600 of the manga, like on one, they do those intro pages or it's just something like completely random, like doesn't really have any bearing. But it was like it was some guy was sitting down with I think Rayleigh,
Yeah.
and then he's like he's currently in the manga right now, and they're just like, yo, Oda teased this like 600.
I think I sent a picture in the group chat the other day of me. It's actually in that Shonen Jump right there next to Alex. There is a spread of it's drawn like ancient Japanese painting,
the feudal Japanese,
and it's
stuff.
them in their Wano clothes.
Right.
That's Impelled Down is when that's going on.
That's like Oda has completely has this entire story. In
It's
his
done.
head.
He has to have it all done, and he has it all.
You remember that kid that had cancer
the
or something?
Make-A-Wish, yeah.
And he was like, I want to know the ending. And Oda went and like showed him the entire end. So I'm like, and this was what? This was
a long
10
time
years ago?
Yeah.
So we got 10.
And Oda's gonna stick to it.
Oh yeah,
He's not
dude.
gonna dig you.
Dude, I think it's done. I do think that he's like drawing the chapters like officially like now. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you guys have been seeing. They've been teasing a lot of stuff. Oda himself has been dropping a lot of pictures and stuff. And not only that, I think that the One Piece card game might potentially show the design of Emu. Now, whenever they announced all the latest trailer, they showed a silhouette of a card, okay? And that we know that we're getting an Emu leader. We don't know if it's going to be the silhouette of he or her or whatever, you know, but Oda has been dropping these hints with his little Emu plushie, and there's some they got Emu next to like some skeletons, Emu next to one of Brooks' guitars, and there's actually a picture of Emu sitting in Oda's like office chair, okay, with his like desk and all where he draws and everything, and there's a bunch of little clues and stuff, and we think that they might have potentially leaked Emu's actual design. And what we think the design is, they actually showed a statue of this design in Skypiea. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, boys, and we don't know what Oda's cooking, but we think Brook has one of the biggest parts in the history of One Piece.
That would be insane because, like Alex was saying earlier, a lot of people, the discussion on Skype is half and half. Like half the people are like, you can skip it. It has no relevance to the story, and the other half is like, no, you need to watch it. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that not be the like craziest thing if they reveal that like Emu's story and all that is so like not solely but like mostly based like through the Skypiea stuff? Like they knew all about Emu and all that stuff.
I think the Skypiea stuff just has a huge part.
It would become a very integral part of the story.
Will that mean Enel comes back?
Enel never died. Enel's on the moon. He's been on the moon.
Yeah, I think it's crazy Luffy fought Eminem.
Yeah. Yeah, Enel's been on the moon with like the moon people.
He got launched up there, and there was even like I read it. It's like a one-off.
Well, they put these little panels in front of the chapters, and that was one of those.
So, and you pieced it together. It's like the little.
I forgot what they're called, but I like moon people. Yeah.
No, what's it? They're like the little otters or whatever.
Yeah.
That are up there, and there's like some factory or whatever, and he basically saves them, and that's his new army. But he's just on the moon, chilling.
Yeah. Well, I love talking One Piece, but let's take a little break, and we'll talk about Pokemon's new attempt at a, I guess, park for you and your family to go to and enjoy some Pokemon. We'll be right back. Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're going to interrupt this episode and tell you about our sponsors. Yes, our sponsors over at Dueling Guard. These guys definitely have everything you need for your TCG journey. Go ahead and head on down to duelingguard.com. Check out their deck boxes, their playmats, their binders, their anime art cards. They have it all, and I swear I love this stuff. I back it all the way. I personally use binders and deck boxes from Dueling Guards for all of my TCG play. When I'm going to bigger tournaments, or even if I'm going to smaller tournaments, they have everything I need to be comfortable in my competitive scene. I love the size of their deck boxes. They fit perfectly in my book bag without any type of clutter. You know what I mean? When you have them big deck boxes and it's just so cluttery in your book bag, it makes your book bag kind of get deformed after a little while. These are great for that because they're a nice slim fit. They also have so many different sizes of deck boxes. So if you don't like the size of one of their deck boxes, I'm sure they'll have something to fit your certain criteria whenever you're going to these big events. Their playmats are super high quality. I really, really enjoy playing on them. And their binders are peak. They're side loading, they zip up. They're just really good binders all in all, and they fit perfectly in your book bag. They also have different accessories like playmat holders and different bags that you can take out. I'm telling you now, you guys are definitely going to want to support Dueling Guard, man. They are very awesome in what they do. So go to duelingguard.com, use code POP1 at checkout. You guys get a discount. It helps us out a lot. We really enjoy having Dueling Guard around, and we thank them so much for what they do for the community and for Pop.1 Podcast. All right, let's get back to the show. All right, welcome back. Okay, Pokemon is doing a, let's see, this is what they call it. They call it Poke Park Kanto. And basically what it is, it's a 500 meters different terrain park that you can go visit with 600 different, I guess, Pokemon statues. So it kind of gives you like that hidden Mickey type of vibe if you go to like Disney World or something like that. 500 meters like really isn't that big of a place, but it does include like a Pokemon Center, a Pokemart, a gym, and they do like Pokemon parades and stuff. And I'm wanting to say they're going to put like some rides and stuff out there.
Where's it located?
In Japan somewhere, obviously. But
what if they came to America and started like, coming into Disney World territory?
Well, the thing with Pokemon and opening up storefront in America, it has some it's failed before. Mm-hmm. So back in 2001, they opened up the Pokemon Center in New York City. And it went on from 2001 to 2005. You guys might remember pictures and stuff and all that. And it came out like around like the Johto era. So a lot of the stuff was like Gen 2 Pokemon throughout the store and everything like that. And it just didn't really do that good. There wasn't a huge Pokemon. There was a huge Pokemania deal, and obviously it was enough for them to open up a store, and it had its own exclusive statues and everything, exclusive merchandise, but it just didn't do good as a standalone store. So in 2005, they ended up rebranding it as the Nintendo store. And to this day, the same location is the New York City Nintendo shop. And that's where, you go and you can watch the Pokemon premieres. You can watch the Nintendo Directs and stuff like that in person at the Nintendo store. But they did do a Pokemon store, and it failed. Now, the thing with theme parks, I think it would work in this day for sure.
100%.
I honestly think that if Pokemon wanted to go the route that GameStop has gone and open up a chain of Pokemon centers, even probably the size of GameStop, it would work. As far as a theme park, I've said this for a long time that Pokemon should do a theme park. And they did. They did a small theme park in Japan. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the pictures going around of like the merry-go-round where it's like Entei, Suicune, and Raikou is like the rides and stuff. And then they had a Ferris wheel. They had all types of stuff. And it just didn't work. So they've shut down theme parks before. They've shut down shops before. But one thing in Japan that's very successful is their Pokemon centers. And I think that they're seeing that a lot of people, especially foreigners to the land, come and they spend a lot of money in these stores. I've personally been to 2 Pokemon centers. I went to the one in Shibuya and then one right outside of Shibuya. They have them everywhere. And I wanted to spend a lot of money, but the lines for these places, and I'm talking about any time of day, from when they open to when they close, is literally wrapped around the building. Like, you're not getting, they have everything you want. They have all the cards you want, all the, t-shirts and stuff and plushies and everything. But it's so, you're going to be sitting in line like all day, like you're waiting for like a Disney World ride, and it's just crazy. But I think that this is a potentially a good idea, especially if they're like taking a piece of land out there that's just kind of like decrepit, or it was once a park, but it's not as popular and stuff. So it's a good way for Pokemon to get involved in their motherland, in their area. And I think it's a cool thing for the community. Now, is this like a park that you got to pay money to get into? I don't know. I don't know the details on everything yet, but they announced it on the Pokemon Direct. And I think it's a really, really cool thing.
Think about it. Imagine if Pokemon did come to America and they open up theme parks across America. We need competition for theme parks. The price of going to Disney World or Disneyland is astronomical, and we need some competition for that. We can agree with that. But imagine walking through a Pokemon theme park and you have you know, how Disney World would have their characters. Imagine a Pikachu coming up to you, offering you pictures, Meowth, you know, just there's a plethora of Pokemon that
well,
you can take
you know,
pictures
they're
with.
doing that now at Universal with the Nintendo World.
Are they?
You haven't seen
that thing's
the
blown up. Like everybody wants to take pictures with Toad.
yeah.
Because for a while, I think they made
Yeah.
him stop doing it, but he would do like a little, like people would come up and want to dance with him, and it's like you can find, you know, you can go and do the blocks. You remember in the old school Mario games when you had the little slot machine and you try to get through it, you could do that there. Like they have like the pipes and stuff. It's a whole thing, and it's pretty popular.
It's part of their what is it? Universal
Beyond.
I think so. It's something like that.
That's what Magic
Universe
does
Beyond or whatever. Yeah. And they have the Mario and now the Donkey Kong adaptation to it. And it's been in Japan for a few years now, very successful. And same with the Donkey Kong. And there has been rumors that Pokemon will adapt to this. I don't see why they wouldn't. Huge Nintendo IP. Huge. The number one entertainment franchise in the world. And it's been the number one for years now. There's no way you can pass it. Like, you know.
Like, let's say they did come in America. Just opening up Pokemon shops in big cities across the nation alone will get people into your park.
Yeah.
And top that with rides and
you got to do it right too. You can't like
sure.
I'm just thinking in my head like I think one of like if they could do something like this. Y'all ever been to Top Golf?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know they have that sheet.
Yeah.
And you hit the fake ball or whatever, and then it actually, you know, tells you your trajectory. What if they did something like that but gave you a Pokeball?
That would be really cool, actually.
And you throw it, and then, you know, you got to hit the actual Pokemon, and, you know, it's depending.
That would be wild.
You would pay, you know,
wild.
you get 3 regular Pokeballs for $5. Or, you know, if you want a higher experience of like catching like a legendary, you can buy, you know, like 1 Master Ball.
Dude, Topgolf needs to team up with Pokemon and do that. Dude.
That would be wild.
You would have lines.
Oh,
of that.
yeah.
Because you know, and then they could do one of two things. They could either they could have like a set list of like these are the Pokemon we're doing, and like rotate it.
Yeah, you can
like
start
once a month.
Well, like
You can
the
start small.
closer ones are like the weaker baby Pokemon.
Yeah.
And mid-range, you get like, you know, your big buffier ones. And then in the back's like all the legendary and mythical. And then like a little Mew will pop up and, you know, you just got to
And
tap
then you
it
can
in
do
there.
like you insert your coins, you get your Pokeballs, and then every now and then you'll get like the God Pokeball, you get your Master Balls.
Yeah, you get a
and
little
they'll have the
yeah.
insane Pokemon, all the legendaries, the Mews.
Or you could do like a thing where it's like, okay, what's your favorite Pokemon? And then, you know, like mine would be Blastoise. So then they could do a thing where like, okay, you know, you have 3 attempts to catch a Blastoise and it's like, you know, 20% chance or whatever. But if you capture the Blastoise, they give you a little prize. They could give you like, you know, those, a lot of people like those like crystal Pokeballs.
Yeah.
That show the little, they could do something like that, you know, like
Yeah.
of course the price of that would go up. But
Or,
I mean,
you
how
know,
cool would that
just
be?
make it 100 times better and give you an exclusive promo card that you can only get. And then have everybody outside the
Oh
door
my
saying,
gosh.
paying $5,000
Isn't it
for this
crazy
card.
that if you just throw an exclusive card at with
Well, it
any of
has
these
to be for
majors-
a card game.
for a
you know?
card game that is popular.
Yeah.
Imagine you can throw any exclusive card and whatever you're trying to sell will sell. Dodgers with the Luffy. We even get into this territory with McDonald's and Burger King right now. Burger King teaming up with Naruto. Now McDonald's teaming up with One Piece. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I called my friend who works at Burger King. And I got all the Naruto toys already.
Apparently, a lot of people don't really care about them. Like, it's actually not been that hard.
I was shocked to realize how not big Naruto actually is. Like,
Well,
Naruto's huge. Don't
The
get me
thing
wrong.
about it, they used the original Naruto IP.
Yeah.
Like the
Not even
Instead of
Shippuden?
Shippuden- No,
no,
not
it's like
Shippuden.
they're all kids, and it's just like
Oh.
I want some.
That was so long ago.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like 20 years ago.
Now imagine
But
if
is
they
One
did
Piece-
this and like Itachi was a character. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or like who
Well, you do
knows?
the entire
Like,
Akatsuki.
real popular.
Yeah.
You do like Naruto and like, you know, when he has
the toys are very subpar too. They're very.
How are the
just-
One Piece ones looking?
I don't know if they're real, dude. Like, you know what I mean? I saw like the thing, but that could have been AI. You never know. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Well,
everything.
But the thing, you know, One Piece is still big. You know, it's still currently going.
Huge.
It's still, you know,
Well, McDonald's did put like a picture out with like Luffy holding 2 snack
Snack
wraps.
wraps.
You know what I mean? So like they're doing something. You know, so I don't know. I think that'd be cool. You know, I collect a lot. I like collecting the adult Happy Meal stuff. Like
Yeah.
I did the Minecraft one recently. I got a few of them up there. All the chicken nuggets and stuff. I remember when Lucy pulled the golden chicken nugget. That was like really cool. And at the time, it was like worth $100.
They did the YuGiOh collab too.
With with the My Little
the Hello Kitty.
Oh,
Kitty,
yeah.
yeah.
That was
They did
also
that.
another
That
one.
was
Yeah,
a
I have
real
all
big
those
one.
over there, too.
They've done a couple Pokemon ones, I believe.
Yeah, and the Cactus Jack ones, that was really cool. They did a lot of cool stuff, and McDonald's has really been killing it lately. You know what I mean? And I think that it's really, really cool to
Sometimes
get
they just-
excited for a toy again at McDonald's as an
Sometimes they
adult.
just come out with these duds though, because I'll go to McDonald's every now and then, and I'll be like, I wonder what toys they have, and I'm looking at it, and it's just like, what is that? Like, what like they did one recently, like this year. It was just like little McDonald's things.
Yeah,
It was like the ice cream machine, and I was like, I bet it's broken.
Oh yeah, Adam had one of those, and I was
yeah,
like,
it's like, what is that? What is this? They don't even advertise
Yeah.
it. They're just
imagine
like,
a
we need-
McDonald's Labubu collab.
the Labubus, man. I think that's like downtrending like bad, dude. I don't even think it's popular anymore. Like I see people like wearing them, but like whenever we went to NAIC, like it was very popular. But like now,
I see a lot of people still paying 150 for it, and it's like, yeah, you could get away with not doing.
I
that.
got like 6 that I ordered like 3 weeks ago, like on the way now, and I'm just like,
I don't care.
why do I
anymore.
have 6 Labubus on the way?
It's it's every Beanie Babies.
Yeah, it's a trend.
Furbies.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It like comes out. It's super popular. I remember Bratz dolls.
Yeah.
Were super
Oh,
huge.
yeah,
and
I
just,
remember that.
You look at the stuff that comes
when
out.
Ruby was very little, it was like LOL dolls and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They got all types of stuff, and the Labubu thing is cool. And who knows, it might go further. It might actually go crazy if they drop like a new wave of different kinds that are doing different things.
If they
but
start hitting certain collabs, like
I don't know why Pop Mart's not selling their own clothes though. I think that the aftermarket clothes like market is really cool, and I think people are making a lot of money off of that. I think Pop Mart pretty soon might like team up with like Nike or something, or like team up with like these big brands so they can actually, because like imagine like if like I don't know like Gucci or like Prada or something like wanted to collab with Pop Mart. And they're selling the color wave on Prada's website and the color wave on Pop Mart's website. I mean, dude, you're gonna endless amounts of money for these companies, dude. It gets wild out here, man, and the people get what the people want, and they want Labubu stuff, I guess, and they want cards, man. So that's just like the world we're living in right now. Labubus and cards. You guys love it yet? Are you having fun?
I think Labubu's will be out soon.
I mean,
I just don't see.
Until they drop another wave, it's like a dropping another card set. You know what I mean? Like Alex
Yeah,
is
but
saying with this YuGiOh set, like their last set was only $40 on TCG Player, but you got this next set coming out that's super hype, super strong cards, and it's probably gonna resell for 150, 180 range.
I don't want to go that far because Yu-Gi-Oh just hasn't.
Well, how
reached
much is
the
a booster
point.
box? Like 110?
It's supposed to be around that.
Yeah, so I can see 150, 160 if it's a hype set.
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt it.
And then they'll announce the reprint for all these good cards in their new 10 collection coming out this Christmas. We're about to be
25th
ready for the
anniversary.
10s and watch I'm calling it now. Screenshot me, do everything. Every card that's hype in this next set will be in the 10s, bro.
They will get reprints. I want to say that. I mean, they.
Dude,
might.
you've
They
seen
do.
some stuff.
They do some stuff.
Fenrir still ain't
But
got
you-
a reprint.
But it's got a few reprints.
It's only got one.
2. It's got an Megaton and a OTS reprint.
Okay, 2.
Yeah,
It's still expensive.
yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, we're TCG guys. We love trading card games. We love all things TCGs. And what's really cool is that so many people are also into this. So many people like these different card games, and they'll buy these different card games, and they'll sell these different card games. And it's just a really cool community to be a part of because all different walks of life do every single different card game. Like, look at us. We could not be more different, the three of us.
Yeah.
But because we have trading cards,
We're
we're genuinely
collab.
friends.
Yeah, we collab. A lot of stuff has happened for us three because of trading cards. Imagine
Mighty
where.
bold of you to assume we're friends.
Oh wow!
It's hurtful.
No,
But,
but yeah, but like when you first started streaming, I didn't. Trying to think, did I ever play any card games like that before?
It was you and Nate that actually I got both of you guys like into the scene. I was begging you guys at one point.
Now I did when the original Pokemon came out because I was such a huge fan of the game that I would buy the cards to collect. I never actually played it.
Yeah.
And I did collect a few cards, but never played any games. But yeah, it's when you started selling slots, and I was like, I'll help my friend out,
Yeah.
I'll support you. I started getting some cards, and I was like, well, these look kind of cool. And I still remember my first deck, Gizmex.
The good old Gizmex.
Oh my god, terrible! But
I remember those days.
But yeah, so I started getting into that, started playing it, and it was fun to hang out. But it's like the amount of people, like I never really associated with card people.
Yeah.
And the amount of people I've met through being on Pop.1 and being your co-host on the Twitch, and just playing these games, I've met so many interesting and new people and cool people, and some people I don't really care for, but
Yeah, that's every
you're not gonna
hobby.
like everybody.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a hobby, right?
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
It's an expensive hobby.
It's an expensive hobby, but it's also a social hobby.
To be in the card games, yeah, you need to have a little bit of bankroll.
It depends on the card game. There are some card games that are definitely cheaper than others. Pokemon,
Yeah.
And honestly, One Piece is pretty cheap if you do it right. I know you could build a buggy deck. That's what, $50.
Yeah.
Well, like the Bella Betty deck's like what, $30?
I don't even think that, dude.
Yeah, so
My Arlong deck was, I had a few alts, but I could build that deck for like $15.
yeah, so if you do it right, you can definitely get away with playing this game at an affordable level, no matter what your income level is. We're not financial advice, of course. And you can make this an excuse to travel with a bunch of people. And if you get enough people that you're close with, that you're friends with, you can even make the traveling cheap.
Yeah, definitely. We do that, and we just plan it out, budget out. Butters has been on a few One Piece ventures with us. You're going on our first one with us. This is going to be a really cool one. We're going to be doing podcasts and stuff while we're out there, and hopefully get some cool people in here. I don't want to say anything, but it might be a really good time. And by that time, we will be deep into this ban list, man. And we just got to touch back up on that on this episode before we get off of here. And just with all the stuff that's been said with the community and everything, I finally have seen what the community is speaking on for this ban list. Gum Giant is definitely a huge topic.
Yes. Oh
it's probably one of the biggest topics on our TikTok is Gum Giant. And I think just because the majority, it might not be broken. We've dumbed it down and let you people know that it's not that broken.
It's a good card.
It's a great card.
Fair, great
and it's
card.
won a lot of games. Don't get me wrong, but I think just because the community's like saying Gum Giant 50 times a day, that it might go.
Yeah, I think at the very least you should errata it. Like I think the 4K power and then drawing 2 cards.
Yeah, the 4K power is crazy.
The
but
4K power is not.
Yeah,
but
drawing 2 cards. If you drew 1 card, maybe.
I'd say no cards.
Because
usually you're gonna have a Sanji Pudding out, so you're gonna get your Dawn back.
Well, you're talking about for GP, but for
up,
it's just.
Up's got a lot of other options too, but it's just like it's not. It's just you go, Gum Giant. So you're instantly at 10K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you're trashing 2 non-counters out of hand, and you're drawing 2, so you're hoping for 4K counter. Or another Gum Giant, or a Gear 2, or so it's just like it's the amount of survivability you have when you're at 0 life, and I'm swinging 8, 9s, and 10s with 4 or 5 dudes, and I can't kill you. It is a problem.
Yeah, I was playing against Brian the other day, Brian Ha. And we were just doing a fun match, Bella Betty versus GP Luffy. And he has no life, no blockers, with 5 cards in hand. I attach all the leaders, swing 15. If he would have had one more 1K counter with all the stuff he was doing, he would have countered out of that attack. Out of a 15 swing.
He did it to me one time. I swung 19.
Yeah.
And he countered out of 19.
That's like
that's
unheard.
insane.
Yeah, you don't hear of that.
You shouldn't be able to counter out of a 19.
And a lot of people were going back to our other TikTok where we talked about Katakuri.
Mm-hmm.
And all the comments were like, please don't do that. It's going to ruin all the Big Mom decks right now. You got purple yellow pudding, you have purple Katakuri, that and then even any other Big Mom pirate leaders that are purple, it hurts it very bad because you have to have it in the new format. So I don't think Katakuri is going to get hit. I think it would be funny, but I don't think it's going to get hit. And another one that we know for sure is not going to get hit is Blue Sanji.
Yeah, no. Blue Sanji doesn't need to be hit, but Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin, that card needs to get hit.
I think the solution to what is going on. So the 3 things that everybody's saying. First, this is more than Gum Giant. Everybody just wants the leader straight up banned.
Yeah.
They want up Luffy banned.
Yep.
I don't think it's RP Law Sakazuki level. I don't think it's going to get banned. It's too new. When Sakazuki got errated, he had 3 formats of play. When Red Purple Law got errated, again, 3 or 4 formats of play, blah, blah, blah. Now, Up Luffy just came out. Like, we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, just came out. They're not going to ban a leader straight out the gate. They can. I don't think they will. This is what I think. If they do anything to the leader, let's get an errata, okay? That doesn't make it broken, because the leader effect's kind of broken. But you got to have something that makes it exclusive, a reason for people to play it. Let's use our limited list. Let's put Gum Giant to 2, and let's put Big Mom to 2. And I think that if you can do that without touching the leader too.
Right.
If we just touch those 2 cards and dumb them down a little bit, is that gonna fix it? Or are we just gonna find other busted cards to replace the 4 cards in the deck?
With OP12 coming out, there are new decks that are coming to the fray, and do we want to hit the best deck of this current format to make room for the new decks of the new format?
And they probably will.
Yeah.
They probably will. We are, and I will say that this will be my 5th, 6th event for One Piece, and every time I go, it is it's either a side format, like an EB or PRB format, or it's right after a ban list. And I have I can't prep for it. You know what I mean? So it's just right now, I wish I could prep OP12, Bandai Fest, and I kind of can, but I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to bring cards back off the ban list. What if they brought Gekko Moria back? What if that in the ban list, they're just hey, we're bringing Gekko Moria back. And then next thing you know, we're back in a Black Yellow Luffy format. And everybody's just what's going on? What if they bring Jinbei back? What if Dofi's back running rampant? What if they bring Kingdom Come back?
Okay.
No, never.
Well, Kingdom Come wasn't that bad, guys. Come on.
I mean, there's a lot of things that can definitely happen, and I'm excited for.
Me too. Me too. And the one thing about One Piece, I'm glad I get to hang out with you guys whenever we play it. It's such a good time. It's like you said, sometimes you play the card games just to be around people, to get away from life just a little bit, and just be with people that enjoy the same things you enjoy.
Yep.
And that's one of my main things with locals, and it's one of my main things with this card game. So I hope it does go to 2029 or whatever they're speculating, and I hope Gundam card game gets better distribution, and Bandai actually listens to the players like they usually do. We're not talking about Konami here. We're talking about good old Bandai, man. They sit back and they listen to the players, and they get quick to tell you, hey, we're listening.
Yeah, and they will actually give you their thoughts and processes behind everything that they're thinking. It's an insane concept to me. The fact that they announce, hey, you're worried about these cards coming out in PRB2, this is what we're going to do. We're sorry for getting this information to you so late.
Yeah.
That's such an insane concept for me, for someone coming from YuGiOh, to have a company that cares about its player base and communicates with them that what's going on. Mm-hmm. That is a huge thing to me.
I think they're very smart with what they do.
Yeah.
With their card games. They do listen to their fans, and they go, if this is what the fans want, for us to keep them happy, for them to continue to buy our product, to continue to play our game, we need to listen to them. I personally don't like the rotation.
Me either.
Because my boy is gone April. And they're not going to reprint.
Well, we are getting some special announcement next month.
It would be wonderful
Day.
if they, did that, because then I would just have to remove a few cards from the deck. I love
what would be fair if they just don't include leaders on
that could be
on the rotation.
Yeah.
I don't think leaders should be on the rotation. Cards, yes, that's fine.
Yes.
It gives us new deck building ideas.
But it's like I said, I personally don't like it because it does hit me. But I gotta say, as a financial decision, it's smart because when you don't do stuff like that, if I'm playing Arlong and y'all aren't really putting green yellow support out for me, why would I buy a product?
Right.
Yeah.
But now you're forcing me to, if I want to keep playing this game, I need to find new decks to play.
But on the contrary, that could lead people to leave the game too. So it's a very thin line.
The game's too good though. Even though
I do agree with that.
I've started playing Yamato just because I know I can play her for a while.
Yeah.
You know, come April, Arlong's gone. Arlong's not really doing too hot with GGG in the game, but
two things with that though. One, this game is pretty affordable compared to other card
Right.
games. So that's number one. And then number two, them rotating out these leaders gives them an opportunity to reprint these leaders in these colors, but with different effects for the new metas that are being set up for the future. And if they do that, I feel like that's a fantastic way to go about it.
change Arlong's effect to 6 cost or less.
To 6 cost or less, yeah.
Yeah, so that I could put out bigger bodies in the end.
But, like,
'Cause
what-
that's the thing about Arlong is like I can, you know, like it's 4 or less. So
Yeah.
I put these 4 bodies out, you know, these 4 cost bodies out. They're not big, you know. Eventually when we get to 10 Dawn, you know, everybody's dropping 9 cost, 10 costs that are 10, 12K.
Yeah. But what if that's their plan with the rotation?
I mean, if they bring Arlong back and they give him a new, you know, a better ability, I'm down for
They
it.
could. Imagine they do another NL card. You know what I mean? They do another leaders. You know, to kind of help us out with kind of same effects but a little bit different. Who knows? I still think an L leader is the most broken leader to this day. I love it.
That yellow, yeah, it's such. But I mean, you know,
Hey,
when
Bella Betty's kind of crazy too,
when
dude.
you play yellow, it is gambling. 'Cause
Yeah,
you are
definitely.
wanting them triggers out of life, and you just don't know what's coming out sometimes.
Well, all right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this episode. I think everything felt good, and I enjoyed the conversation with you guys. You got anything, Alex, that you want to say to us before we get out of here?
Yeah, stop asking for permission. Just do the thing. If you're looking to play a card game, go out, play the card game, and just do it.
All right, Butters. Appreciate you coming on, man. You got anything to tell the world?
Make sure you follow the YouTube and the TikTok.
Let's go,
Yes,
dude.
Because
sir.
it is, you know, even though y'all are my friends, y'all do put out good content. You know,
Appreciate it.
I don't just watch because, oh, I'm just going to support my friend and watch it. I actually do pay attention and watch this stuff. And y'all, you know, we have fun every time and we talk about things and y'all put a lot of information out there. So, you know, if y'all want to stay up to date on TCGs, this is where you do it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you can go check us out at our TikTok at Pop.1 Podcast on TikTok. Will probably be the first thing that pops up when you go there.
Yeah.
Go down to the description. Check out our Discord. You can join up. Pretty good people in there. It's really cool. And just make sure you're subscribed. Turn your notifications on so you get updated every time we drop an episode. And that's the episode 5 right there. We'll be back for episode 6 coming up soon. You guys have a great week. And we'll see you next week. Peace out, y'all.